the two teens were in a crosswalk at 1365 West and 48 South. Good for Utah's Jason Wynn is live there on the scene with the very latest on this developing story. Jason?
Police say that the two girls were crossing this crosswalk when they were hit by a car, and that car rested right here. As dusk began to settle in Tuesday night, tragedy hit two teenage girls. Police say a woman driving didn't know the girls were crossing the street.
As it gets to the crosswalk at 1365 West, 4800 South, there are two teenage girls in the crosswalk. Apparently, for whatever reason, they don't see those two girls, and both of the girls are hit by this particular car.
The girls were rushed to Intermountain Medical Center. One girl has been identified as a 15-year-old with critical injuries. The other is 16-year-old with serious injuries.
This occurred where the children were in a crosswalk. So both of the girls were in a crosswalk when they were hit.
Police say the speed limit is 35 miles per hour. They have a team reconstructing the accident to see how fast the driver was going.
The driver's side of the vehicle, the windshield has been smashed on that side when one of the kids hit it.
Police say the driver and her three passengers cooperated on scene.
In the last few years, we've had more problems with drivers being distracted by what they're doing in their vehicles, including texting and emailing and so on and so forth.
Officers fear this may be a case of distracted driving and ask folks watching this to pay attention to the road. Now, police tell us that the girls are still in critical and serious condition at this hour. They say they may be transported to Primary Children's Hospital for further treatment. If that happens, we'll keep you updated on GoodForUtah.com. I'm Jason Wynn in Taylorsville. Good for Utah.
Good morning, Utah. I'm Brian Carlson.
And I'm Emily Clark. The time is 6 o'clock, and we do begin with breaking news out of Taylorsville. Firefighters are battling a two-alarm house fire at 4477 South Driftwood Drive. That's at about 1470 West. Good for Utah's Jason Wynn is there right now. And Jason, you have information for us?
Emily, we don't know how the fire started or if anyone was inside the house at the time, but what I can tell you is that this is a two-alarm fire, and firefighters are busy right now trying to put the fire out. We just saw some flames come out of the top of the roof. The homeowners, or I should say residents, are outside. They're all watching the fire departments work on this. We have firefighters from a Unified Fire Authority, South Salt Lake City, and West Valley City, all working on this fire. Again, they look like they have it under control right now. The battalion chief is actually inside working with some of the firefighters there, trying to get this fire out. Now, there are residents that are off to my right that do appear to have some blankets on them. They may be homeowners or residents of this house. We're not clear on that just yet. We're still waiting on information. I'm told that a public information officer should be arriving shortly, so we should have an update for you in a couple of minutes. I'm Jason Wynn in Taylorsville. Good for Utah.
We want to get back to some breaking news we're following this morning out of Taylorsville. Firefighters are battling a two-alarm house fire. It's 44th 77 South Driftwood Drive. That's roughly 14th West. Good for Utah's Jason Wynn is live on scene. He's got an update for us. Jason?
Brian, I just got done talking to the family. You can see them right over here. They only got out with just the clothes on their backs and their blankets. They don't have any shoes or anything else because they lost everything in the fire right over here. Now, firefighters appear that they've got this fire under control right now. You can see that some of them are out right now trying to get some rest. Here's what I was told by the family. The family says that there's 11 people that live inside the house. 3 of those members were out working. So there was 8 people inside the house when the fire started at 5:30 this morning. One of the girls that live inside the house said that she heard a loud explosion out the back side of her house. They didn't know what it was, but the house quickly filled up with smoke. And that's when the family was able to get out. The Unified Fire Authority showed up, quickly noticed that this was a two-alarm fire, and the West Valley Fire Department and South Salt Lake Fire Department showed up to assist. We're still waiting on more information. The battalion chief's right over here to my left, getting information from the family. So as soon as they get done with that, we'll try to bring you another update as soon as it's available. I'm Jason Wynn in Taylorsville. Good for Utah.
Good for Utah's Jason Wynn is live on the scene, and he does have more information for us. Jason?
Emily, fire crews have officially put this fire out, and they're allowing the family to go in and get some of their things like shoes, because this morning they were only allowed to run out with their clothes on their back and the blankets on their shoulder. You can see some of the family is right here gathering with their dog that they were able to get out this morning. Now, here's what we know. 10 people live inside of the house, and at least 6 were there last night when the fire started, or early this morning when the fire started, and were able to get out with the family dog. Now, one of the family members tells me that they heard a loud explosion in the back of the home, and the home started to begin filling up with smoke. And they got the family out then and started to call 911 for fire departments to start to arrive. Once Unified Fire Authority arrived, they noticed that this was a big fire. So they called in South Salt Lake, Murray, and West Valley City to help assist with the 2-alarm fire. Now, no one was hurt, thankfully, inside of this fire. I was also told that the Vietnamese community of Utah will be helping out with this family and getting them their needs, because as of right now, it seems like they've lost everything. I'm Jason Wynn in Taylorsville. Good for Utah.
On midday and early morning, house fire breaks out in Taylorsville.
Multiple fire departments worked together to put that fire out at 4477 South and 1470 West. Good for Utah's Jason Wynn was there right after crews started arriving and has the latest.
The family of 10 says that they heard a loud explosion at 5:30 this morning, and smoke quickly filled their house. Shoeless, with only the blankets from their beds and the clothing on their backs, a mother, her children, and the family dog named Lucas stare at their home in shock while fire consumed it.
There's extensive damage this time. After our investigators go through, they'll have a better idea of the cause.
Those investigators say the fire appears to be accidental, but a final ruling has not been made. Rich Woodruff found out about the fire while in our studios for an appearance on Good Morning Utah, and quickly made his way out to help the family.
We have volunteers that are going to sit down and say, look, what do you need?
Because the family is going to need a lot. They tell me they're very thankful for all the help from fellow Utahns.
The funds that we get through the donations can be allocated right to situations exactly like this, to help these folks, to help other folks in the same situation. So we appreciate that.
The American Red Cross says that they will put the family up in a hotel this evening and help them with their needs for the weeks to come. The Utah Vietnamese community also said that they'll help this family out. I'm Jason Wynn in Taylorsville. Good for Utah.